Ever since the beginning of time, life has been defined by its own rotation. Some would call it destiny, others, reality. In a time before humans had become so unattached from the world around them, back when they still praised life for what it was, a blessing, life had nearly ended for those on Earth. The balance had been shifted. But for what? The only thing powerful enough. Love. Everything seemed normal to those on Earth. They enjoyed the blessing of the sun's light and warmth without a second thought. Then, as the sun set and darkness fell upon the world, the moon rose, mesmerizing and enchanting the world with her beauty. The humans danced in her presence as the tides changed. Things went on the way they always had for a while yet, but as a partial eclipse came yet again, the moon and the sun held hands, telling one another how they missed each other's company. But sadly, they parted soon after, continuing on their set paths. Life went on as usual on Earth, its inhabitants completely unaware of how unhappy the sun and the moon had become without one another. Despite how unhappy they were, they continued in their duties as destiny had laid out for them. But with each partial eclipse, they discussed running away so that they would never part again. As they met and joined hands again, they made the final plans. On the upcoming solar eclipse, they would put their plans in motion and leave together. They said their goodbyes, hopefully for the last time, and continued on their paths. The solar eclipse came soon, in only a year's time since their last meeting. The inhabitants of Earth all stared up in awe as the sun and the moon embraced each other. But then, what they had never expected happened, and the moon and sun began to leave, leaving the people of Earth behind. The people of Earth cried out, but the sun and the moon were so lost in each other that they had not heard their cries. The sun and the moon remained overjoyed together, while back on Earth, people froze, and their crops wilted. Deserts flooded, and oceans began to dry up in the couple's absence. As the days went on, the people of Earth grew louder with their despair. The sun and the moon finally looked back to the Earth at the growing cries of the people, then looked back to each other in dismay. The people of Earth were dying in their absence, but if they were to return, they would have to leave each other. Though the two wanted to stay together forever, they also cared for the people of Earth. Thus, they made the decision to return to their rightful place. The people of Earth all cheered as the two returned to their sky, completely unaware of the heartbreaking choice the sun and the moon had to make to save the Earth. Things on Earth returned to normal.